Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Katie and this is Dark Side of the Truth. Today we're going to check out some viral TikToks that will leave you questioning everything. So before we get into it, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already and hit that little bell icon so you stay in the loop whenever I upload videos just like this. And if you haven't already liked the video, make sure you like the video. All right, let's get into it.
They live, we sleep, the alarms going off, beep beep. Time to wake up to the deceit. Our whole reality's made up by the elite.
This chip that can produce basically stem cells. You guys check it out.
Only about the size of a cufflink, the device itself is small, but what it could represent is enormous. In this laboratory at The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, researchers demonstrate the concept. Simply place this chip on an injured part of the body and apply a small electrical current.
This process only takes less than a second. The chip does not stay with you, and the reprogramming of the cell starts.
That reprogramming turns skin cells into nearly any type of cell doctors might need to treat a patient. A breakthrough technology in regenerative medicine. For example, in a leg that is badly injured and lacks blood flow, doctors simply touch the chip to the leg and reprogram the skin cells to become functioning blood vessels.
In many cases, in 7 days, you start seeing changes, and these changes persists.
Within a week, there are active blood vessels, and by the second week, the leg is saved. In fact, in lab tests, it even worked in the brain, helping mice recover from strokes. In humans, this could allow doctors to grow brain cells on a person's skin under the guidance of their own immune system. They could then harvest those cells and inject them into the brain to treat conditions like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease. And no immune suppression drugs would be necessary, all by using a patient's own cells in a brand new way.
I'm sorry, but reprogramming your cells by touching this chip to your skin? Like we're fucking computers or part of a simulated reality or something? And, if you didn't peep it, they said that they can change your skin cells into any type of cells they want. Like what? How is this even possible? Maybe I'm just ignorant, but what type of dystopian BS is really going on with these quote unquote medical advancements? Because to me, this is more of a sci-fi nightmare come to real life. But what do you think? And better yet, would you be comfortable receiving this procedure? I would love to hear what you guys think.
John McKay's car. This is a cell phone brain tumor. LeBron James, one of our sports people, had a salivary gland tumor. That is another cell phone tumor. You didn't hear about it because immediately after that was discovered, he was paid by Samsung to become their spokesperson.
Cheryl Crow was recently diagnosed with a benign brain tumor. It's in my cell phone area, and there are no doctors that will confirm that.
My name is Dr. Angie Kolbeck. I've been reviewing the studies showing the impacts of wireless radiation on our health, and there are now thousands of studies showing the following adverse health impacts to wireless radiation: cancer, oxidative damage, DNA failure,
things like memory, dizziness, anxiety, brain fog,
headaches, nosebleeds, cognitive problem, exhaustion.
Put your damn phones down. Seriously, they are so bad for your health. But do you see how sneaky and conniving they are? Like, they hide so much from us, it's not even funny. And then, when someone in the limelight comes down with a serious illness from cell phones, the major phone companies just pay them for a brand deal or a spokesman position. So they can now help promote and sell the unhealthy and damaging product to all of us. It's so fucking sick, man. And it's not that they don't know that these are bad for you. They know. They just don't care. So that's why when they pretend like they do care, you know it's a bunch of BS.
One thing I don't think everybody has noticed is that we're being presented with two options, and only two options: World War or Civil War. Either way, everyone is going to be participating, whether it be in a global war or a civil war, in their own countries or right here in America. But one thing is for sure, absolutely no one is coming to save you. This is a Facebook post. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming too prepared? What exactly do they mean by being too prepared? Well, let's find out. Canning, simple recipes, food, gardening, preserving, and crafting groups. That's what it means to be Too prepared? You want to know how I know that no one is coming to save you? Because they're turning people who prepare themselves into demons. They don't want you to save yourself. They want you to believe that someone else is coming to save you and your family. I'm completely aware that no one's coming to save you, and you should be aware of that too.
I just have one question for you all. Since when did being too prepared become a behavioral trait that other people should be concerned with or worry about? And that's a genuine question, because this shit is getting out of hand. Please give me your honest opinions in the comments. But if you had a neighbor or a friend that you knew was a prepper, would that fact alone ever be enough for you to take pause and be cautious or concerned around that person or about that person? Because personally, I'd want to be their friend. But maybe that's just the prepper in me, I don't know. But I would love to hear what you think.
So who knew y'all TV could be hacked and could be recording y'all?
But with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the Smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Smart TVs
and so what
have
we
cameras?
can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
First of all, why is this my first time knowing that a smart TV has a camera in? Second off, what does my smart TV need a camera for? Third, why isn't this more talked about? And if y'all didn't know, this video's old, so that means smart TVs done got way smarter. Yeah, just something to think about.
Keep in mind that the video that you just watched is very old. And personally, I've seen it before, but I had to share it with you all. It is pretty sus that a smart TV would have cameras, though, because I can't think of one reason why they would need them. Plus, if old smart TVs, like the first smart TVs ever made, were capable of doing things like this, then you can only imagine what these new TVs are capable of doing. And that's enough to, keep you up at night. Or at least keep you from, binge watching TV shows all night. 'Cause somebody is watching you watch them.
World's first heartless man. Y'all, this is Craig Lewis. Basically, they replaced this man's heart with a pump. This man was giving days to a few hours to live. He was admitted to the hospital with amyloidosis. This can cause kidney, liver, and heart failure. Basically, if the doctors didn't step in when they did, he would have died in hours to days. 2 doctors from the Texas Heart Institute came up with a revolutionary idea. After the surgery, he was still legally dead. No pulse, but breathing and talking. He ended up going home 7 days after this procedure, and he's still alive today. Anybody thinking what I'm thinking? AI clone. We're just hearing about this now, but it's been going on forever. So if he can live without a heart, maybe it's because they can just make people?
Did you know that in our not-so-distant past, babies were created and incubated en masse? This happened and was showcased as attractions at the World Fairs and even in New York's Coney Island. Can you even imagine carnival attractions where people paid to watch babies growing in incubators? Where were the parents? What happened to all of the babies? Well, have you heard of the orphan trains? They were packed off and shipped out west to help repopulate the great Tartarian cities found abandoned across the land.
I hope you're ready for this.
They were sent to humongous orphanages and the people were able to get orphans to work their farms and factories. Free labor was abundant, and it was needed to rebuild after the last reset. There is loads of evidence showing that the original Cabbage Patch Kids were these orphans which people just simply picked up and took home like fresh produce. Many children were basically indentured servants and were subjected to lifelong slave labor and abuse. Everything they taught you is a lie. America was covered with empty Tartarian cities, left to rot after the Great Reset, and those that followed grew a few millions babies to repopulate and rebuild. They dug out those cities and started over. Researched Tartaria.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that these little pod babies that everyone was freaking out about a few months ago is nothing new? So you're telling me the world is full of clones? And the NPC theory isn't a theory? My theory is all of the higher-ups are all just clones that reincarnated and picked out a new body and transferred over their consciousness because we are eternal beings. And if these people survived the last Great Reset, that means they came into this with way more knowledge than we had, because they were able to just rewrite history, feed us a bunch of lies, and that's what we've been dealing with since the early 1900s. This is why everyone has to stop fearing the AI. We are the AI. We just didn't realize we were so advanced.
Now, supposedly, allegedly, this is where the idea for those Cabbage Patch dolls came from. Now, I can't prove that, so take that as you will. But I don't even know where to start with this one, okay? It's so touchy, like any way I go with it, because it's so truthful. Like, there is so much truth in what this woman just said for you guys, it's not even funny. So, I'ma just leave this one right here for y'all to digest on your own, rather than, you know, getting a violation or a strike for me going into too much detail about my own opinions. At least regarding these particular topics. But I'll meet you in the comments.
Freezing patients after they die so that one day they may live again. Fox's Jackie Ibanez has more.
Inside these aluminum tanks of liquid nitrogen are the bodies and heads of roughly 200 people. The canisters are housed at an Alcor Life Extension Foundation's facility in Scottsdale, Arizona, where the patients inside, many of whom passed away from terminal illnesses, are preserving their bodies for the future.
Instead of just disposing of the patient, give them to us, we're going to stabilize them, stop them getting worse, and hold them for as long as it takes for technology to catch up and allow them to come back to life.
In order to be cryogenically frozen, a person must first be declared legally dead. But biologically, Alcor officials say a person's organs and body can be saved almost indefinitely.
Dying is a process, and cryonics stops that process.
Using a medical dummy, officials show how an ice bath, mechanical CPR device, and a respirator cool down a patient's body. Various medications are also used to prevent cells from damaging over time. Patients are then wrapped in what's referred to as a sleeping bag before placed inside their tank.
Once that's happened, the body becomes a true solid, and absolutely nothing is happening in the body.
Over 200 frozen heads being preserved already? And for as long as it takes to heal their illness. Like, they legit said a person's body and organs can be cryogenically preserved almost indefinitely. Indefinitely! And I want to know what meds are making their organs be able to be preserved indefinitely like that. Because they said that they give them meds to help their organs be preserved. Like, what medicine, dude? What medicine would do that? Please let me know.
Survival school. Topography map. What makes this United States military issued topography map of Washington State so very interesting is dangerous animals, spiders, scorpions, plants, poisonous plants. But now pay attention. There's no editing in this video whatsoever. One take. Sasquatch. Listed under dangerous animals. So, is that proof that Sasquatch really does exist? This is not a trick. This is not an edited video. This is a map that was issued by the United States federal government, Air Force. This is a topography map.
I know Sasquatch is real. Like, I believe it with my entire soul, but it's still wild to see, like, the military recognize it as, like, a real animal. You know what I mean? But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Sasquatch is real, or do you think it's just, like, some urban myth or legend?
About how God met Moses on Mount Sinai in a fire. Until this day, Mount Sinai is still burnt to the top. You got the rock that God told Moses to split in half to make water come out that's still there till this day. And inside of this rock, they said that there's erosion, proving that water was literally flowing out of that rock at one point. And not to mention that rock is literally like 60 feet tall. They found chariots in the Red Sea where God parted the Red Sea and allowed the Israelites to cross through and make the waves crash over the Pharaoh and the people that was chasing them. In the Bible, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he made it rain burning sulfur. And they found 100% pure sulfur in the exact spot that Sodom and Gomorrah was. And supposedly it can't be found nowhere else in the world. You got Lot's wife who turned to a pillar of salt because she disobeyed God while Sodom and Gomorrah was getting destroyed. And she's supposedly still there until this day. You got Noah's Ark that they found in the exact spot that the Bible said that it landed at. And when they measured it, it was the exact measurements that God told Noah to build the ark. Not to mention they found blood that had dripped through the cracks of the ground and landed on the Ark of the Covenant in the exact place that Jesus Christ got crucified at. And when they tested the blood, they said that the blood only had 24 chromosomes. And every human on this earth has 46 chromosomes, which means whoever blood this was only had one parent and got all his traits from his mother. And there's only one person that we ever known to walk this earth that didn't have an earthly father, which was Jesus Christ. And the crazy part is when they tested the blood, they said that the blood was still alive because it still covers our sins to this day. And that's why God said that man will be without excuse on the day of judgment as to why they didn't give their life to Christ, because there's too much evidence out here. Get right with Jesus Christ.
I love to see examples of like these biblical stories being captured in real life. But at the same time, I always wonder how much of these biblical stories that we're being told like are actually real or are the truth. You know what I mean? Because, like, hell, they lied to us about what Yahuwah and Yahweh's names are, as well as, like, the wicked one or the fallen one, Hasatan or Halal ben Shakar. They have also lied and hidden his name from us, too. So if they're going to lie about things like that simple as, like, their names, you know what I'm saying? And we know this and we can prove this, then I can't help but also wonder what else that they're like lying to us about regarding religion and these type of things. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but nonetheless, these videos and these examples are really, really cool and I like checking them out. I like watching them.
Demon Syndrome Face. Diddy last year vs. Diddy now.
No, this is definitely not demon face syndrome going on with Diddy. In my opinion, this is just another example of someone's clone taking the fall for them while their real self is in the Bahamas or, you know, just somewhere out of the public eye. That's just my take on what we're seeing here, though. What do you think's going on?
Elderly lady wakes up in a morgue after she's pronounced dead.
Where were you when you woke up?
I was in the morgue with all the dead bodies.
On your trip to hell, you said you looked down and you saw hell.
Mm-hmm.
Describe what you saw.
Ooh. Well, first of all, there was space everywhere, and it was all burning. And the flame looked maybe as high as this door. And then above that, the stench and the smoke was there. And these souls were up there above the flames. And they were begging for water and wanting to get out. They were very fascinating to me because of the dread I saw on their face. It was terrible. And the smell was what you wouldn't want. Oh my, the smell is terrible of hell. It's burning flesh, and yet it isn't burning. I don't know how to explain that any different. It's flesh burning.
Were people screaming?
Oh yes, and their tongues rang out and they wanted to get out of there. just bring me some water, something to quench this flame, being tormented.
They were being tormented.
Terribly tormented. Their tongues were hanging out, and some of their eyes looked like they were bulging out of their head, and they were just reaching up. They wanted some help. They wanted out of there, but there isn't any way out of hell. Once you get there, you're doomed.
What, did you hear anything? Did anybody say anything in hell in particular that you can remember?
Just screams.
Their whole body, or were they?
Well, they were forms.
Okay.
I could see heads, faces, and people like with the expression in the eyes. Oh my, terror! Just they were.
This one in particular was so eerie for me to watch. I don't know about you, but to me, it definitely seemed like she was telling us the truth and like recounting something that she had actually like witnessed and experienced. You know what I mean? I don't know. Very, very creepy. Very creepy.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about national parks and state parks. And yes, they're protected because they're beautiful areas, but mainly they're protected because they're ley line areas. And most of the ley lines in this country and around the world, not all of them, most of them, or a majority of them, are held by dark force energies. And because they're held by dark force energies, underground bases and things have been built under these parks, as well as entrances that have been there for centuries, I guess, to inner earth. So you can literally stumble into a world where you can't navigate and you may not be able to get out. Also, there's a lot of portals because of the ley lines and just the portal energies in these parks. So a lot of times when people are disappearing, they're not being taken by dogmen, they're not being taken by Sasquatch, they're not being taken by aliens. I mean, they might be, but literally they're walking into other worlds. They're walking into inner earth. They may have stumbled into a base because there's a lot of holographic coverings that people inadvertently, because people are dumb and people are nosy and people can't see the dimensions, and so they can't navigate some of these places, and so they get themselves in things that they can't get out of. Yes, some people are picked off the trail and brought for experimentation and lose time and all of that. Yes, some people are killed by crazies on things like the Appalachian Trail and stuff like that. Not saying there's not logical, quote, 3D explanations, but a lot of the David Pilates 411 stuff is BS. He knows what's going on. He's a paid informant. He's part of the whole thing. He's been proven to be a liar on many occasions. And so a lot of this, in my opinion, is they're walking through portals and they're not being able, to navigate their way back out, or maybe a one-way portal because the ley lines are walking into inner earth again. They're not being able to get back out. They may be in a base. They might not want them to get back out. So a lot of these disappearances or deaths are a result of not necessarily super mystical stuff, but definitely things that most of you aren't familiar with that some of us are. So my warning and my caution is be very careful when you go. Stay in crowds, stay in the more public places. Don't go off exploring on your own. If you get like a spidey sense of something wrong, pay attention to that. I don't recommend camping in state parks or national parks, which is funny because I basically live practically in a state park, but my property also is a portal property on 4 acres of quartz. So that's going to automatically kind of make it really magical and mystical, which is great for me because of my knowledge and what I do, but it's not so great for other people, and not everybody would love it here. And there's probably places on my property that I shouldn't walk into and I might not get out of as well. So
1,000,000% something fishy is going on inside of our state parks and like our national parks. Like 1,000,000%. Absolutely. Not a question about it. At least not in my mind. And this lady just made a lot of those missing 411 David Pilates stories make a hell of a lot more sense to me anyway. She's connecting the dots, making shit make sense.
Alexa, what's the human population on Earth?
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the world population today is approximately 7.91 billion.
Alexa, what's the human population on Mars?
Here's something I found on the web. According to worldanvil.com, today, Mars is the second largest habitable planet with a population of nearly 1.5 billion people.
Alexa, What's the human population on the moon?
Here's something I found on the web. According to fandom.com, currently the moon houses approximately 126 million humans and is a major exports are silver, titanium, H3, plants, and oxygen.
What in the fuck?
What in the actual did his Alexa just say? Like, this has to be edited or like not real, right? Like, right? Please let me know what you think in the comments. Is this real? Is it edited? Did he capture this before Alexa knew enough to lie to us? I don't know, but like, I don't like the answer she just gave him.
Hey, we got it.
Try it again.
No way, no.
Okay, so my very first reaction was this has to be fake because they would have like shocked the shit out of themselves, obviously, right? But then I rewatched the video and I realized that you can like clearly hear that the car is dead, and it like putters until you finally hear the engine like turn over and it come to a start. So I don't know. I'll leave this one up to you all. What do you think? Is it real or is it fake? I don't know. Let me know.
One course of antibiotics increases your rate of depression by about 25% in the following 12 months.
Whoa.
One course of antibiotics, 25% increase in your risk of major depression. One course of antibiotics, there's a 19% increase in anxiety attack and panic disorder. If you have two courses...
Because of the disruption of the caliber and quality of the gut flora?
Exactly. So you've now wiped out the gut flora with the antibiotic, which means you've now lost the restore-like molecules that are doing that wireless communication network, which means you're now leaking across the membrane, which means you're now over-inflamed there, and the neurologic system is starting to get hit as the blood-brain barrier fails. And so that's one course of antibiotics. If you now take it up to 2 courses or above, we can get up to 60% increased likelihood of major depression in a year with multiple courses of antibiotics.
Okay, so this is like very true. And you already know that I'm not just going to share this information with you and not give you any way to like fix it, right? Like, okay, well, what's a healthy antibiotic then, Katie? Don't worry. I'm coming with all the information you need in order to make your own antibiotics at home, like without all this harmful ingredients in it, out of natural stuff that's good for you. Let's check it out. Roll the tape.
Oregano oil, a natural medicine for you and your family. You think I have enough of it? Well, guess what? I'm making more. She said she had an infection and oregano oil kicked it in 2 days. I'm gonna make some more oregano oil right now. All you need is organic dried oregano leaves and extra virgin organic olive oil. Grab a mason jar, fill up the mason jar halfway with the oregano leaves. We've already experienced not having access to our doctors, not having access to pharmacies. I love having natural medicine in my medicine cabinet, and that is exactly why. Grab the extra virgin organic olive oil and fill it up halfway. You're gonna wanna give it a little bit of time and add the olive oil slowly as the oregano leaves soak up the olive oil. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then I'm gonna stir it around again as it soaks it up. Now don't fill it all the way to the very top. You wanna leave a little bit of space in your jar, but that's about it. You're gonna let this sit in your cabinet for about 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 weeks, up to you how long you wanna let it sit before you start using it. Keep it out of the sun, keep it out of the heat, preferably keep it in a cool, dark cabinet. It doesn't have to be cold, just room temperature, but there you go. There is oregano oil for quite a long time for me and my family.
Okay, sweet, Katie. Thanks. Now I know how to make it, but how do I use it? I'm getting there. Just hold on.
It's been 6 to 8 weeks and my oregano oil is ready. Grab any type of a strainer or a nut bag and strain the oil from the oregano into a small jar or a dropper bottle. Oregano oil is a great antifungal, a great antibiotic, a great immune booster. Just put a few drops in your drink every day. Great question about oregano oil. How do we consume? Do we take a spoonful? Okay, so I have a lot of friends who get ear infections and they actually put the oregano oil right in their ear. It's an antifungal, it's an antibacterial. Oregano oil, and oregano is so powerful. If you have some type of a fungal infection, you can use it on that fungal infection, just put it right on the skin. Again, I have some friends who put it in their ears. Again, it's antibacterial, antifungal. You can also take a little bit of it and put it into your water, into your drink if you or your kids are not feeling well. Again, it's an antibacterial, it's antiviral, antifungal. Oregano is powerful, and you can make it yourself at home and have a nice big batch.
And just because I love you all and care about you so much and want you all to be healthy and use at-home remedies and, you know, stop buying all this crap from the store, I'm going to throw in one more healthy, like, at-home medicine recipe from this same woman. Her hashtag is always on screen, as you can tell, along with all the other creators. If you want to go check her out, she has a ton of other, like, homemade recipes and stuff like this on her page. So you guys can go check her out for more. But I included one more just because. So here it is real quick.
They don't want us to know that we can heal ourselves. They don't want us to know that through a simple lifestyle and diet change, we can thrive. They don't want us to know that the medications they are giving us is only putting a Band-Aid on the problem, never healing. They don't want us to know that the highly processed food, the highly processed sugar, is what is causing the inflammation. It's causing the diabetes. It's causing the heart disease. It's causing the cancer. They don't want us to know that it's causing the stress.
You're welcome. Now you guys have no excuse to buy that store-bought shit anymore, okay? All right, well, I'm gonna end the video here. So thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate everyone hanging out with me. If you haven't already liked the video, go ahead and like the video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, get subscribed to my channel. And yeah, that's all the blabbering I need to do. So until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, you're still here? Wow. I mean, I love you guys too and all. And you don't totally have to leave my channel. I have tons of other stuff you can check out. You just can't stay here because this video's over. But you better go check out another video and subscribe to my channel while you're at it because you're clearly obsessed with me. I'll meet you there.